This Tacoma's transmission has some serious problems. Now, it's a 2020 TRD Pro, which is part of Toyota's latest generation of Tacomas, the third generation of Tacomas. But let me start off this video by saying that a common problem that a lot of people talk about with this latest generation of the Toyota Tacoma is that the automatic transmission gear hunts. Many have said that the automatic transmission can't seem to find the right gear and therefore shifts too frequently, and I used to kind of notice this on my own 2019 Tacoma. When I drove on the freeway when I first got it, anytime I got on a simple incline, it would drop all the way to fourth gear and stay in there for a while. But after a couple thousand miles, I think my truck learned my driving style, and I also went into the dealership a couple months ago to get the latest technical service bulletin, and honestly, I've had no issues with the way my own Tacoma has driven ever since. But anyways, this video is not going to be about that specific issue because unfortunately, this 2020 TRD Pro has a far worse transmission issue. When it's time to shift, I just felt it right there. It revs really, really high, almost like it's going into neutral, and then the engine is spinning really quickly when it's actually shifting, and it causes it to kick. Now, obviously, this is really unpleasant. It is a big issue that needs to be fixed, and so I'm gonna go home now, and I'll explain to you this Tacoma's special circumstances and kind of the root cause behind a lot of these issues it's having. So in today's video, I want to give you guys a little bit more detail about this truck's transmission issue because it's kind of unusual for this to happen in a brand new truck, especially a 2020. Talk about some potential solutions and also just ask you guys for advice because I always want to learn. I'm always open to hearing what you guys have to say, and I want my channel to be entertaining and interesting, of course, but I also want to help anyone else who may have this problem with their own Tacoma and are watching this video. So we're gonna get into all of that, but first off, if you're new to the channel, hello, I'm Chloe. I make mod and off-road videos centered around third generation Toyota Tacomas, and I have a lot of Tacoma projects, especially this and next month, coming up on the channel for you guys. So if you like that sort of content, feel free to subscribe. Lastly, I wanted to give a shout out to a local company here in San Diego, Ronin Factory, who is giving away a built-up 2020 wide-body Raptor plus $30,000 in cash. And I know a lot of us on here are Toyota people, but Ronin Factory does some really amazing work. For this particular giveaway, they have partnered up with the Wounded Warrior Project, which is really near and dear to my heart because I have a lot of family members who are veterans and service members. And you can donate to Wounded Warrior Project directly through Ronin Factory's website, and for every dollar you donate, you will get 2 entries to win the Raptor and $30,000 in cash. Ronin Factory's website also has a lot of truck accessories and cool products, and for every dollar that you spend on their website, you will get 2 entries to enter the giveaway. I will leave a link in the description box down below if you want to donate or browse their website, see previous winners, or actually check out the Raptor they're giving away. But now, let's take a closer look at this Tacoma. For those of you who have been around for a while or have watched my small series on this truck, or you just don't want to hear the backstory of this truck, I'll try to remember to timestamp the video so that you can skip over this part. But for those of you who don't know, this is actually a project truck that I've done some work on, and I have filmed some of that work on my channel. I think I have 4 videos about it, which I'll link down below if you want to get more details about what we've done to this truck so far. Again, this truck is a 2020, which sounds new, but it's kind of going through a completely new life because as far as we know, its first owner purchased this truck new from a Toyota dealership in New Hampshire, and then only about 2,300 miles in, this truck got into a pretty bad accident. It looks like there was a front end crash, although we don't really know what happened. And then we also theorized that it must have spun out and hit a telephone pole because the bedside was kind of smashed in, and there was some bark or like that fibrous material that you see from telephone poles wedged between the wheel and the tire, and there still is actually. It was purchased in December of 2020 on an auction website by one of my friends who has kindly let me work on the truck and document some of the process. I explained some of the repairs of this salvage titled truck in my older videos, but to recap, basically the first thing we had done was we got an auto body shop to straighten out the frame, and they also completely redid the sub-assembly. We did a lot of rewiring underneath the hood, off-road, we replaced the intake system because the top of the airbox was smashed and we had to get a new kit. We installed a new TRD Pro headlight because one of them was also smashed on the passenger side. We replaced the bedside and the hood, which is why this specific TRD Pro does not have a hood scoop like it does come from the factory. We replaced and fixed all the airbags that got deployed and then took this thing to an auto body shop that repainted all of the panels that needed repainting. Basically after that, the truck got registered. It was doing really great and actually was a daily driver for my friend for 4 months. I even did a trail with it, and then all of a sudden, I think about a month ago, out of the blue, the transmission started to kick really hard when shifting gears, and we got that check engine light. So that's my quick recap on this truck situation, but now we'll talk about the transmission issue more specifically. So kind of as you briefly saw before, this Tacoma's transmission kicks really hard when it shifts gears. It's very harsh, it's loud, it's jolting, and let me show you a couple other clips so you can get more of an idea of what's going on. If you listen carefully in these next couple of clips, you can hear the transmission rev as if it's in neutral right before it shifts, and then it shifts into gear a little harshly. In that clip, you could even hear the tires skid because of this. Because transmission issues are typically kind of difficult to diagnose at home yourself to see specifically what's wrong, and the only real visuals we had were that check engine light and this message displayed on the screen, we decided to take the truck to the dealership. Before we had them diagnose this issue, at first, in the back of my head, I knew this wasn't the case, but I was really hoping that this was maybe just a software issue, and maybe this truck needed some features from a newer TSB and just needed to be updated to that newer TSB, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. So in the end, the error codes pointed to issues with the transmission solenoids, specifically 2 of them. I believe it was transmission solenoid A and D, and the error code said that these solenoids were stuck. And now that I think about it, it kind of makes sense. I mean, we were getting kicking between first and second gear and second and third gear, and a lot of times when you have transmission issues with shifting between certain gears but it being fine in some of the other gears, it points to bad solenoids. Although now we know that this is the issue with this truck's transmission, we are a little bit confused because the problem seems intermittent. It seems like the solenoids aren't stuck all the time. So then part of me also thinks that this could be an electrical issue where maybe the signal is getting disrupted somewhere along the path between the ECU to the solenoid and causing them not to open and close. But to be honest, I have no idea. These are just my initial thoughts, and again, I am still learning all about this, and there's a good chance I'm missing something. So the dealership ended up removing the check engine light, which was really nice, but we still have the transmission problem obviously, so that still needs to get fixed. If any of you have any more input or have experienced this yourself, please leave a comment down below because we're still kind of not sure at this point. Right now too, we're looking for a shop in SoCal that really will just help us diagnose and understand this issue better, but maybe the best route forward is to just end up going to Toyota and getting it fixed there. It is kind of interesting and a little bit odd that this is happening on pretty much a brand new vehicle with now only 3,600 miles on it. Also, I know I'm going to get this question in the comments, but this transmission issue that the truck is having right now was in no way caused by the initial crash or the fact that this truck is a salvage truck, because it was driving for months before the issue even happened. There was no check engine light before this issue. The vehicle was registered and driven as a daily driver over 1,000 miles the last couple of months. And on top of that, the dealership said that while rare, this could happen in new vehicles. I honestly think that bad luck might just follow this truck, but I just wanted to clear that up. Anyways, that is the update I have for you guys today on our project truck. Let me know if you want a follow-up video to see how this fix for this issue goes. I also have quite a bit of footage from before we fixed the frame and the sub-assembly and some of the body panels to how it is now. So if you'd be interested in a before and after kind of recap all in one video, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. Also, don't forget to check out Ronin Factory in the description box down below for a chance to win a Raptor and cash. It'd be so cool if one of my followers or subscribers won that. That would just be awesome. Anyways, if you want to connect more with me, you can follow me on my Instagram. It is at ChloeKuoTaco. I post more Tacoma content on there. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.